After you've drawn the flat in model space, drawn your front view and your rear view, we want to move over to paper space to do our dimensions. So to do that, we're going to go to a layout, in a open layout. Here's layout 1. Now you'll notice it's not the right size, it's not the right scale. So we are going to right-click on the tab and do Page Setup Manager. And for that layout, we're using layout 1, modify it. I'm going to change my printer to be Adobe AutoCAD PDF high quality. My page size to be ANSI Full Bleed 17 by 11. And I'm going to choose Extents for what to plot and center the plot. And I'm going to leave the scale at 1:1 and then click OK and close. And now you'll see that the page got bigger, but our viewport here stayed the same. So if we wanted to make that bigger, we could click on a blue corner and then it'll turn red, and then you can move your mouse to where it wants to be. And I've got ortho restrict on, so it's not letting me move diagonally. If I turn that off, I can also move diagonally. You can also right-click on it and hit Properties, and then change the height and the width and the geometry. So our height could be 11, and our width could be 17. And we can get out of that. Oh, but now it's not centered. So you can click on the square in the center and move it. It's a little off. There we go, close enough. And then you'll notice that it's not at any particular scale. So to change that, we can go down to the bottom status bar and click on scale and change it. We're going to do 3/8 of an inch. And now you'll notice that it's not centered. So to center it, you want to go into model space, which you can do by double clicking. And now we're in a model space is maximized. There we go. I'm back in paper space. So you can double click to go into model space and pan around, but it's kind of hard there to see where you truly are. When you're in model space, to get back to paper space, you can type PS, enter, and you're back in paper space. And when you're in paper space, to get to model space, you can type MS, enter. And now you can pan around and center it in your paper space. And then it's really easy when you're in model space to change the scale. Oops, I've changed my scale. So I can go back in and adjust it. I'm still kind of centered, so that's nice. And the grid is bothering me, so I'll turn it off. And that, for me, is right next to model, or it's F7. So it's a little clearer for me. And then I want to go back to paper space, so I can hit PS, enter. And now, if I right-click on the viewport again, sorry, that's a left click, I can click the lock button, it's near scale, and now when I go to model space, MS, enter, I can't pan around and I can't zoom in and out of the scale. I can zoom in and out of the window, but I'm not changing the scale and I'm not changing where the objects are in the viewport. So the lock is your friend. You can go back to paper space. Now we want to dimension our flat in paper space. And first we will want to change our annotation style. So I'm on the Home tab and I clicked the annotation label with the arrow down, and then you'll see different styles. And I'm going to click on the dim style to the left of that, or you can also type in dim style. And then copy of annotative, I'll just modify that. Holy moly, that's some tiny type. So I'm going to make sure that my arrow sizes are 1/8 of an inch. My text is annotated. That I'm aligned with the dimension line, and that the text is centered. Fit says, what do you want to move out of the dimension line? Arrows or text, or both? And I'm going to do arrows first. Primary units, we want to be architectural and 1/16 of an inch. And I'll click OK and close. So now I can dimension. And I'm just going to click on linear dimension, which is also able to be typed with dim lin ear. So DIML will get you started. I'm going to click the corner, and then if I click the top of the bottom of the window and pull down, I get 1 foot 4 inches. But do you notice how the extension line goes through the object? I don't really like that, so I'm going to delete it. And start again. And I was already going to do linear, so I click the corner, and then I can hover over the corner instead of clicking, and then just draw my mouse down. And you'll see the extension line, and when it meets the bottom of the flat, I'll click, and then I can draw my dimension line down. And then I want to continue dimensioning over, so I can choose, if I go to the Annotate page, the Annotate tab, then choose Continue, it connects with the selected dimension line, and so I'll be clicking the second point, which I'm going to hover over the bottom of the window and then come down, and then I'll click the end, and then you could just keep going all the way across. And remember, we're not clicking inside the object because it makes it futzy. And then to complete, just right click to complete. Now you'll notice that 2 lines are over each other, so I'm going to mess with my dim style to see if I can correct that. And so I am going to type DIMS, or first I need to get out of dimensioning, so type DIMS and modify. And for fit, I'm going to try always keep text between extension lines and see what that does. See, much better. Let's take a break.